Hello, beauties, beauty junkies, and aspiring makeup artists. Today, we're going to talk about how I became a professional makeup artist and how you can do it too. Hello, beautiful people. My name is Nika. I am a professional makeup artist, and you're watching Love for Beauty. If you are new to my channel, welcome to my world of beauty. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I have been a professional makeup artist in the entertainment industry for 10 years. Most of the time, I've lived in Los Angeles working on films, live broadcasts, TV shows, commercials, photo shoots, and of course, working with private clients and celebrities. It has been a blast. I absolutely love my job so much that it doesn't feel like work, which is one of the best things you can experience in this world. But don't be fooled, it was not always easy, and it didn't happen overnight. So that is why I am here to tell you how I made it in Hollywood and how you can do it too. I have prepared a series of episodes especially for you with topics that, in my opinion, are most important for your success as a professional makeup artist. I hope my experience and insight gives you a sneak peek into a professional makeup artist's life and also prepares you for all the steps that you need to take and all the things that you need to be doing in order to be successful, as well as what your life will look like throughout those steps. I'm very excited to be walking you through my journey and guiding you through yours as an aspiring makeup artist. I'm here to support you and to give you the truth as it is. Let's begin. First of all, I would like to ask you to sit down and really give it a thought if you want to pursue this as a career. It doesn't happen overnight. It requires a lot of effort, especially if you don't have any artistic background. Therefore, I think it's very important to give it a thought if you want to pursue this as a career seriously, or you just want to do it for fun. And here I will give you a few basic options that you might want to think through. I'm sure there are other opportunities, but I will list your 6 basic opportunities for now. If you have any other questions, you can always reach out to me and I will do my best to answer them all. Your basic 6 options are working at a salon, at a beauty counter, working on weddings and private events, which means working exclusively with private clients at their house or venue. You have film and TV, or to sum it up, the entertainment industry. That can go into many branches, but to get into that, it's pretty much one road that you're gonna have to take. So that's why I summed it up in one. Then we have YouTube as an opportunity, which of course you can become a beauty guru on YouTube. And then number 6 is you just want to do it for fun. You enjoy playing with makeup, but you're not willing to pursue it as a career. You want to learn how to do your makeup really well and maybe occasionally do your friend's makeup. I'll explain about each one of those today so you get a better idea what they entail, and then we'll move on into more topics in the next episodes. Ready? Let's go. If you like my content, you know what to do. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you know when the next video is out. Share this video with your friends and invite them to become a part of the Love for Beauty fam. If you have questions or suggestions, drop me a comment or shoot me an email. Number 1, working at a salon. First and foremost, working at a salon will mean that you have to get either a cosmetology or esthetician license. That is just a requirement by law in most states. So here you might want to consider which state you would like to live in, and if you're more interested in becoming a cosmetologist or esthetician. Meaning, with cosmetology school, you will take a basic training in everything that you can do at a salon, starting from hair, makeup, brows, waxing, nails, literally everything. It's a long process and rather expensive one. Esthetician school focuses more on skincare, which would be probably a better choice if you're more focused on makeup. Still pretty costly. Of course, after you finish your classes, you will look for salons to work at. In the beginning, it will be a little hard because you won't have any clientele. But the good part is most salons already have an established clientele. But as long as you're doing a good job, you will get more clients in time. And if you are doing an amazing job, that will happen pretty fast. You know, they'll tell their friends about you, the amazing makeup artist who works at their salon. Number 2, working at a beauty counter. This one is pretty cool because you are not required to have a cosmetology or esthetician license, which will save you a lot of money. You might need a little bit of a retail experience, but even if you don't, most brands will train you. You have access to free training that I'll send you to and provide. And also you will have access to all these makeup products that you're going to be able to try, test, and play with, which could be really good for you, especially if you're just starting out. I would personally recommend having at least a makeup artistry certificate, which you can get at almost any beauty school. The courses are way shorter and way cheaper, and they're easier to acquire, but it will give you the knowledge you need, which will boost your confidence when you're working with clients. That one is a fun one. The downside is you are pretty much on a set salary or pay per hour. So you're not getting paid to do someone's makeup, you're just getting paid per hour to be there. And that's about it. There are opportunities to grow in your career, but it's a little more limited. And in retail, you have to push really well with sales. That really wasn't my thing, but it could be a great opportunity if you're good with sales and you are interested in that type of work. Hey, don't forget the discounts that you will get. Your house will be flooded with makeup, girl. Number 3, working on weddings and private events, which means working exclusively with clients on your own as a freelancer. That means you have to find clients by yourself and you will have to build your own clientele from scratch, which is not easy, but it is not hard if you are good at what you do. You can practice makeup artistry without having a license. Here, I recommend again to do at least a makeup artistry training, especially if you don't have any artistic background, meaning you have never painted or drawn in your life. Otherwise, you're not going to be as great in the beginning. You're not going to have a good idea of what to do if someone doesn't have the perfect skin or the perfect face features, and you will struggle building your clientele at first. It might take you way longer until you get better at your craft, which is why I recommend definitely a makeup artistry class and a lot of practicing. Just practice, practice, practice. If you see that you're not good, don't just give up. Just keep practicing. Practice on yourself, practice on your mom, on your sister, on your friends. Just keep practicing until you become better. For me, it was fairly easy because I went to art school, and even so, I still took 2 levels of makeup artistry classes just because I felt I can really learn something, which I really did. And it just gave me that confidence that I needed as a makeup artist. Also, it's pretty cool when someone asks me if I have a certificate. I say, yes, I have a professional makeup artistry level 1 and 2 from Maranello Schools of Beauty. So I definitely recommend taking a makeup artistry class to give you the whole truth here. Even if you got your cosmetology or esthetician license, I would still recommend those makeup artistry classes if you want to be focused on makeup. And the reason is that those trainings have so much material to cover they rarely put enough effort into teaching makeup. So I feel like you end up with such a basic knowledge that is simply not enough if you're pursuing a career as a professional makeup artist. I just sidetracked here a little bit, but getting back to weddings and private events. Like I said, you can practice that without any license if you are good. If you feel that you're really good with makeup, you totally can. But here is another side of that. So since you're not working for a production or any company or salon, you are taking all the risks of the services that you're providing. And here, let me explain. Besides finding your own clients, which won't be easy at first, don't get discouraged. I just promised the whole truth, so I'm just giving it to you. So besides that, the other issue you're gonna run into here is you're taking full responsibility when you're providing a service as a freelancer. Let me explain. That means things can happen when you are on location that they can hold you accountable for. And if you're not working for a company or a salon, you won't have any protection. And I will give you examples. Number one, the most horrific thing that can happen to you, and I'm putting it as number one simply because it is so important, I cannot stress it enough. The worst thing that can happen to you is if you were not being sanitary and you gave a skin condition or disease to someone. Don't ever do that. Just I don't care if you're in a rush. I don't care what the situation is. Do not ever skip sanitation. Do not ever double dip or go around it and think you're going to get away with it, because you might not see a condition that somebody has. Or I just don't even want to go into all the details and things that could happen to you. And that is a huge liability, because this could go really wrong, and that is on their face. They will sue you, and you will have to take responsibility and liability for that. So never, ever, ever neglect cleanliness and sanitation. Remember this from me. That is my biggest thing. Of course, besides being a good makeup artist, but absolutely never let anything distract you, or someone telling you, oh, it's okay. Like, I drop my brushes on the floor all the time, and my clients are like, oh, it's fine, it's okay. No, I put that brush aside, I clean it later. I'm not going to take time to clean it while my client is waiting, obviously. But don't ever let anybody convince you it's okay, because that is the worst thing that can happen to you, regardless if you're on your own, if you're working for a production or a salon. Imagine how mortified you will be. Imagine the impact that this will have on your career, your finances. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, that was number one. That was the worst thing. I don't want to scare you guys, but I don't think enough people realize how important this is. And I'm giving you the whole truth. And I'm preparing you to be an amazing makeup artist. And to become the most amazing makeup artist, you have to know all the risks of this profession. Okay? Okay. Glad we're on the same page. All right. Number two that can happen to you is you could damage their property. Meaning you can spill some brush cleaner on their expensive $10,000 wooden table. You could damage their floor with your heels. That actually could happen. I'm not making these things up. Any damage of the sort that you could cause in their house, most people will be like really nice about it. But there are some people that are very, very meticulous about their things, and they could get really upset if that happened on their property. Then of course you're liable again. Number three, I put as number three because it's very easy to avoid. You can cause some damage on their skin if they have an allergy. Your first job when someone sits in your chair after you say hello and you introduce yourself is to ask, do you have any allergies? All the stuff that could potentially happen to you if someone has an allergy and you put that product on their face, hospital bills and all that stuff can be avoided easily simply by you asking that question. So don't forget to ask that question, and most likely you're not going to run into this third one, except if they don't know about it. But in that case, most likely they're not going to blame you, but I mean, they could, but what I'm saying is always be the responsible one and never forget to ask that question. I will most likely talk about this again, but here I'm giving you the things that could potentially damage your career or ruin your finances. And the reason I'm talking about it here is when you're working on your own as a freelancer and you're not connected to a salon or production company, you might want to start an LLC. Just so if someone sues you, they can't go directly after your personal assets. Then you can get insurance, and if anything like that was to happen, you will be covered. I will be talking about all those things in the next episodes, but I just wanted to touch this here just so you have an idea what you will be dealing with when you're thinking your career opportunities through. Number four, and it is my favorite, film and TV, or the entertainment industry. So in this one, it can go many ways. You can go into working for films, TV shows, you can do live broadcasts like news and sports. You could go into commercials, photo shoots, music videos. You can be doing all of the above, which most likely you will be doing in the beginning. And then eventually you'll probably specialize more into one or the other, or you'll just keep doing all of them. Fashion is also another opportunity, but fashion, unfortunately, is not as well paid as it used to be 20 years ago, Makeup artists in high fashion back then would get paid $3,000-$4,000 a day. I don't think that happens as much anymore. A friend of mine worked on LA Fashion Week, and it was a bunch of makeup artists who were volunteering. They were not even paid. So sad, very sad, because I actually wanted to get into fashion at first. I am all about editorial makeup. It's one of my favorites, and I'm not saying there isn't work there. It's just simply not enough and not as highly paid. It will probably be pretty hard to get to a place where you work full-time in fashion and you're making a living with that. But basically, in the entertainment industry, you will be taking on one of those opportunities. You will be working with a production company most of the times, and they always have insurance. So if anything was to happen, you are covered. I mean, it's always nice if you want to, start your own LLC, that's still fine, since you'll be working as a freelancer, but it's not as necessary. It's more optional. I mean, when you're working with clients, it's still optional, but I would highly recommend it because your situation is totally different. Now, what is next? Beauty guru, YouTuber. All right. If that is your goal, then of course you should focus exclusively on your social media and creating a YouTube channel. I can talk a lot about that. If you're interested, let me know and I will make a video especially on that. But right now, I would like to tell you, if you're planning to do that, of course, I recommend at least makeup artistry training again. I know you can't escape that. In my opinion, even though I had artistic background, I still took my training. Take your training. Take your training. It helps a lot. Ask around, see what the best beauty school is around you. If you have to travel to like a bigger city just for a few weeks, you know, those classes are very short most of the times. They don't require a lot of time and they're not that expensive. They're still expensive, but they're not as expensive as cosmetology or esthetician license. So get your training. Get your training. You will be happy that you did. Okay? I'm sure also right now there's a lot of opportunities that you can take classes online. Just make sure you research and you know which ones the best ones are, so you end up with a good amount of knowledge at the end and you don't waste your money and your time. Another thing related to being a YouTuber is also you're probably going to have to do a lot of research on products and, you know, buy new products that come out and things like that in order to create good content. But like I said, that will be another video. We got to the last one, which is number 6. And that is, you just want to be amazing with makeup, just so you can do your own makeup, just so you can have some fun with your friends or your mom occasionally. That is definitely not a career, but because makeup is so much fun, people can easily get confused. And therefore, I just wanted to chat with you about that. If it's just a big passion for you, but you're not willing to go through all these steps, go to makeup school or cosmetology school and, you know, build clients, you know, having to go through all of that. And if you're still not sure, you can kind of dab into the next episodes that are coming, so you can sneak a peek into the lifestyle of a professional makeup artist and you get an even better idea if you want to pursue this as a career or not. If you don't, there's nothing wrong with that. Makeup is fun. You know, you can even collect a bunch of makeup. You can have fun with makeup. If you're not pursuing it as a career, I would say you don't need to take any training. There's so many videos online. So if you just go into YouTube and, you know, start watching tutorials and, you know, if you practice often, you'll get really good at it fast. Especially because you will be doing makeup mostly on your own face. It's a lot easier when you're working on the same canvas. You're starting to know your features. You're starting to know what works and what doesn't work. So eventually, and I would say pretty soon, if you are taking the time to practice, you will get pretty good at it. And you can have some pretty cool makeup parties with your friends and family. My voice hurts. Whew. You know, I never thought it would be so much information just to choose which path you want to go. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's a lot. It's a lot to think about, guys. So I'm going to say it again. Make sure you think about it really good. It's a whole career path. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes a lot of effort and hard work. So you're going to want to be sure if you want to go that path, which I hope you do, because then I'll be here to help you and guide you. And this is just so exciting for me. And I hope it is exciting for you. I know there was a lot of negatives that I mentioned, but you know, this job comes with a lot of responsibility. I think more than you ever thought, right? Like, weren't you surprised by some of those things? I bet you were. And that is why your pro makeup girl is here to give you the whole truth. Here, I want to tell you how I chose my path, because every time we'll be talking about hot topics on how to become a makeup artist, and I'll be giving you a little bit of my story. So I knew I wanted to be in film since the very beginning. The entertainment industry was like a magnet to me. I never even considered working at a salon or at a beauty counter. It was just never my interest. I was just like, I want to make movies, and that's it. So that was pretty much a very clear goal when I started pursuing my career as a professional makeup artist. And also, there was no question I wanted to be in Los Angeles. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you this. When it comes to the entertainment industry, it's very important for you to consider that you might have to move. I'm not saying you have to be in Los Angeles or New York. You know, anywhere you are in the world, you can work in the entertainment industry. But unfortunately, it is way more developed in the big cities. If you really, really want to pursue that goal and you live in a small town, you definitely have to consider moving to a bigger city where you will have opportunities. Because otherwise, I mean, you just have to pick one of the other options, I think. Sorry, I don't have other solutions. But yeah, so for me, the goal was like clear. And in my mind, it was like Los Angeles is the center of the world, and this is where I need to be. So it was fairly easy. I didn't really have to think about it. I just already had all that set up within the goal when I started pursuing my career as a professional makeup artist. And then I decided to take a makeup artistry class, like I said earlier, where I did really good just because I have a background in artistry. Like I said, I went to art school. Both my parents are artists, so I kind of grew up painting and drawing, and all that stuff came easy to me. So what happened was I did so well with the class, my makeup artist instructor noticed that, and she invited me to help her out on a feature film that she was working on. What? That was just amazing. I just literally jumped on a project almost instantly after I finished that class, and it was just an amazing experience. And working on that project was so amazing that it only confirmed all the thoughts that I had that I wanted to do. You know, I wanted to make movies. It was just, yeah, well, now it's even more clear that that's what I want to do. So that is another great perk about makeup artistry class. Connections, connections, connections. If you're doing really good, you never know where opportunity can come from. So that's another good reason to be in makeup school. There you have it. Episode 1 of how I became a professional makeup artist and how you can do it too. I will try to post 2 to 3 videos a week for you guys. So fingers crossed. I'm really nervous because I still work full-time in live broadcast at the moment. I'm here in Nashville on a job, and at the same time, you know, I have to edit, I have to film, but I will do my best to have more content for you. And there will be definitely another video from this series coming next week. So stay tuned. I have many things to tell you. I have a lot of hot topics. I didn't want to give it all to you because this video would have been 10 hours. And I know you guys have lives. And the ones that already know their goal, you need to go practice. That's what you got to do. All right? Okay, beauties, thank you so much for watching. If you made it all the way up to this point, congratulations. Your goal is clear, or I hope it became more clear after watching this video. I love you so much, and I will see you on the next one. Now, look in the mirror. You are beautiful.